Sorry, I apologize for yelling like that because I apologize for yelling like that. This video literally took 20 tries to make. That's why I screamed.
Here's Sonic!
Anti Woke Grifters. These grifters have been a huge, loud minority on YouTube and other platforms as of recently of this year. Now, you may be asking yourself, what are these grifters about? These are not only grifters who don't share proper criticism, these are just people or individuals or general who just really just hate on anything that has either people of color, people of different genders, or just people in overall who really don't share anything that's based on their agenda. They call everything woke propaganda and everything just cringy as a whole. And they even go as much as to sing a bunch of slurs that are against YouTube terms of service and Blue Skies and other platforms that are against terms of service. They say a lot of things that are either hurtful or just straight up evil in general. And they don't even share proper criticism. Every time they cover a movie, show, comic, or whatever, or even as much as a toy line, they just see a character that's either trans, gay, or anything or whatnot, and they just call it woke propaganda without giving us a proper reason as to why they're calling it that. So I wanted to give my fair 2 cents on why I think these grifters aren't good, and why I think they are really destroying the industry and the communities as a whole, and why I think we need to address these situations more. Now before I start this video, I want to give a huge shout out to Arlie Noah and many other content creators for calling this out. Because I feel like Arlie Noah is probably he's doing the best in his power to call more of this stuff out, and he's giving people more, to basically telling them, hey, these people aren't giving proper criticism, you need to stop, you may not want to listen to what they're saying, because most of the stuff they're saying is false or misinformation, and most of the times they are misinformation or false. So I wanted to give my fair 2 cents onto what I think, and why I think that we, as a society, should call out these grifters more, and why we should tell them that, hey, enough is enough. So, without further ado, let's get into this video. Anti-woke grifters are probably one of the worst people in existence. They have no self-awareness of what they say or what they do. Maybe you ask yourself, what are anti-woke grifters? Anti-woke grifters do a lot of things. Well, they grift. That's what they're known for at this point. They try so hard to deny it, but it's honestly the truth. They see anything or a person of color or anything in general, whether it's gay, trans, or anything, etc., and just call it woke, calling it DEI, calling it diversity or whatnot, without even understanding a damn thing what those words mean. And it really does make me weirded out. It actually concerns me a lot, because they're not showing any signs of critiquing at all. If you're trying to criticize something, and if you're trying to address what you want to address, then you need to understand what it's about. You need to understand the balancing, the pacing, the writing, the directing. You need to understand what is in front of you, rather than what's not in front of you, or what's outside of your reach. And you need to, instead of looking at what's outside of your reach, you need to understand what's inside of your reach. Is that even how you say it? Either way. Like Disney and their live action remakes. Instead of it calling woke DEI or whatnot, you need to understand why you don't like the live action remakes. Personally, I don't like the live action remakes, not only due to how it's nostalgia baiting and all that stuff, but I also don't understand the rewrites that they've made and the things that they may have changed that basically ruined the entire message of the original predecessor. Like the Lilo and Stitch live action, for example. Ohana means family. It has been shown since the original animated film. And I didn't like the live action remake because they turned Nani into a complete jerk eponymous and made Lilo, I feel like Lilo's the only normal one that pretty much isn't infected by the Disney censorship virus, where they practically just take one of the most valuable life lessons of all of animation of Disney, and they just completely butcher it, all that, and try to appeal to an audience or grifters that people don't even understand. It's like Disney's trying to appeal to grifters rather than trying to appeal to the people who are trying to criticize them to make better decisions. And it really does hurt me that Disney is doing this. But at the same time, this is Disney we're talking about. They made a lot of bad decisions, especially around the racial side of things. I will never forgive Disney for shutting down Club Penguin and the World Cars Online. I will never forgive them for that. I especially won't forgive Disney for ruining Blue Sky Studios and just taking everything that I love and turning it into a complete cash grab. That's another thing I want to criticize Disney for. Cash grabbing things. And that's also what Sega as well. And especially Nintendo. I can go on a full tangent on why Nintendo is such a bad company for doing all this, but that's pretty much repetitive and it's already been addressed as is. But in terms of like grifters, they see it as instead of them actually addressing the issue or criticizing the issue, they're calling it woke, DEI, and not even giving proper sense on why Nintendo is doing these things. Instead of them actually critiquing Disney for just taking the writing of Lilo and Stitch and completely just butchering it, not even giving a sense of reasoning to it at all, instead of them actually giving the life lesson properly, they just look at a female character or just a female in general or a male character and they just see cross-dressing in general and they just call it woke. They're not even focusing on the main story of the movie. They just call it woke DEI and they're not even trying to understand. They take things out of context, which is a very known thing that these grifters do, and it really does make no sense. I don't even want to show the thumbnails or even show footage of from these grifters because I know for a fact that they are watching everybody debunk them. And there's a lot of things that I don't want to address because I'm so fucking tired of it. But if you're trying to criticize something, then you need to do it right. Like I said in the beginning of this video, you need to understand the basics, the pacing, the balance, the directing, the writing, the story, the backgrounds, etc. You can't just go out your way, look at a movie, and just call it woke without even seeing the movie. But that's not how it works. That's not criticism. That's just you taking things out of context and just completely making a whole 180. Now, if you want to check better critics, I highly recommend you check out Arlie Noah, who is the inspiration of today's video. He makes a lot of videos discussing and critiquing things. He also makes a lot of reviews of shows and movies, games, etc., even comic books, and even more movies and shows that people rarely talk about anymore. He recently made a video discussing the anime men. They aren't anime men, they're just grifters or tourists at this point. He recently discussed how they don't share any type of criticism and how their recent video really didn't not only gave him a headache, but it also shows that these people do not understand what anime really is. They see anime as a trend and to see it as a popularity thing rather than it being full-on art and showing a sense of creativity and imagination from the mind of people all over the world. And that's another thing that these grifters don't understand. They don't understand art. They don't understand creativity. They don't understand productivity, as I'm pretty sure they weren't even learned that. They probably didn't even learn that when they were young, because I'm pretty sure their parents left them for so many years to the point where they just chose to choose this play style, this known style that really doesn't fit them. I personally think the Critical Drinker and Andy Fans Gaming could be better people overall, but they just choose not to because they're not trying hard enough. And that's another thing that I hate about these grifters. They're not doing anything right. They're not doing anything good. They are just grifting, and it's annoying. I am tired of these people. But other than that, that's pretty much what I got to say about this video. This video was really short, and it was really not that long. I really wanted to push this video out, because mind you with the fact that this video took like 20 tries to do. My mouth is tired. It's tired, bro. I can't, But other than that, if you want to know better critics or better reviewers in general, I highly recommend you check out content creators that I'm about to list out overall. I highly recommend you check out Arlie Noah, as I've known from as I spoke in this video. He's the reason of this video, and he was the main inspiration of this said video, like I said a few moments ago, as I feel like he really does critique things about this stuff overall, and I highly recommend you check out other content creators too as well. Even though these are more hype guys and stuff like that, I highly recommend you check out Games Cage. He does a lot of videos and a lot of cool stuff in regards to Sonic, Dragon Ball, anime, and all that other stuff. Yes, he's more of a gaming channel side of things, but even when he is a gaming channel side of things, even if he does a lot of video game stuff, overall, he does share his fair sense of criticism towards Sonic the Hedgehog. He does share his fair sense of criticism towards Sega and their business practices. I highly recommend you also check out another content creator named Sam Procrastinates. He's also a Sonic tutor. Yes, I am a Sonic fan. Deal with it. Yeah, Sam Procrastinates also does a lot of Sonic content too, but he also does a lot of other content overall as well. He does criticize Sega, and he also does criticize Sonic and other companies as well. He also criticizes like Persona and many other franchises that many people enjoy. Yes, he's really cool, and anytime he does share some type of criticisms, it really does work overall. And another content creator I highly recommend you check out as well. It's a really classic content creator, but he really does give his fair sense of it. I highly recommend you check out Scott the Watts and I recommend you check out Scott the Watts. You may not know him as much nowadays, but if you were around YouTube in the early 2000s or even the 2010s or even to now, then you may or may not have heard his name before. He does make a lot of reviews and game reviews discussing video games, not just Sonic, not just Dragon Ball, but other classic video games too. He even went over some video games that he feels are either good or either bad. There's a lot of videos, and I highly recommend you check out M64 Bros. He's not only a Nintendo fan, he's also a fan of many other things as well, like Transformers, Mario, Super Smash Bros., and many other things overall. He does criticize a lot of things he does criticize fanboys and Nintendo disrespecting the legacy of a company. And he also criticizes things such as price tags and many other things. He's just a chill guy, you know? And these content creators overall share criticism that I actually fuck with heavily. So if you have a chance, or if you do want to feel like watching these people, please check them out while you can. They do a really good job in sharing criticism. And with that, thank you for watching, and highly recommend you check these out when you get the chance, and have a great day.
Hey, we should do this again sometime.